Window Shopper, Season 2, Episode 4 of Power Book 4, or 3, sorry, there's so many Power Books floating about. I actually need to watch Power Book 2 episode, Season 4, Episode 2. There's too many episodes coming up, but we're talking about Raising Kanan, and we're talking about this episode here, which I can't even remember the name of, but I don't know, I think Season 2 started very sluggish, man. To wrap things up, you've pretty much got hard this episode, sleeping with a hooker that he slept with for 7 years. She's like, "You ain't mentioned no son." He's like, "Well, I've only just found out. You ain't got no pictures of him." What will Kanan do? Well, I'll tell you what Kanan does this episode. Kanan goes to visit Defcon, his real daddy's brother, but it turns out his real daddy's Howard. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like another twist here and Har's not his dad. I don't know. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see how all that shit's going to go down at the end of the day. But for me, it's like, I mean, what are we going to do? Is Kanan never going to know who his dad is? Is he just going to, at one point, accept who his dad is? Or is, like, Hard... what's the end game for Hard, by the way? Like, you know, what's going to happen? Is Raquel just going to kill him? And then is Kanan never going to forgive Raquel? Because what's going to happen? I mean, I remember seeing this clip in Par where Kanan was like, "Oh, I was just visiting my mom's." I mean, that could mean in a grave, that could mean our fucking house, or that could mean in prison, right? I'm not too sure what that means, but here, you know, it's like when they were doing these shows, I don't think they, like, you know, they completely think and, like, plan out what they're going to do next, but end of the day is, we'll have to wait and see. Visits this guy, I can't actually remember his name, but, you know, Marvin kind of buries him. He's like, "What about your uncles that are out on the outside? We're your only family. He was robbing old people, Kanan. It wasn't good." As for Marvin, I mean, what's he doing? I mean, you've kind of got like a power struggle between him and Lou, but who's like second in command. But obviously, it went from pretty much Marvin being excommunicated due to sloppiness to all of a sudden like he's like the second in command because Lou's more interested in music, which is kind of going down the toilet. Also, a few scenes between the music producer guy and Raquel didn't do nothing for me. Also, Lou, well, what's he did? What's he doing? He's kind of pissed that the other music guy. Yeah, these guys leave such an expression on me, man, an impression on me that I can't even remember their fucking names at the end of the day, but is what it is. And then, like, there's a truck that they're driving through Jersey, gets hijacked by this, like, Italian mob crew. It's not the Sopranos, but it's like, Raquel's like, "Oh, you can't, no one tells me what the fuck to do." It just feels so woke. I'm sorry, that's what it feels. This woman, like, fucking slabbering to these men. Like, and I'm not over exaggerating when I say this, right? I genuinely feel if she was a man here and came out with this talk, like, the mob just would have fucking shot her. Like, that's genuinely what I feel, man. But anyway, like, Lou and Marvin were kind of like, apologise to these guys. She's like, "No, fuck that, said apologies. Not a chance." It's like, what? It's like, who does this bitch think she is? Like, what? Like, what is going on? Jukebox goes to visit her mum. She's like drinking tea, and now she's going to go to church with her. And Marvin like redecorated her room. He's trying to get win back Jukebox, but at the end of the day, you know, I'm not defending what Marvin did, but I mean, he did beat his daughter. But it was a full-on fucking fist fight between the two of them, which was quite funny. I mean, I guess what he could say is sorry, but I guess he just doesn't feel that way. I think he just feels like his daughter should fucking be straight, you know what I mean? And obviously doesn't really, it never plays out that way. It's weird doing Par. It's like she's sleeping with that woman, and then she basically just lets that woman fuck Ken, and she like watches like, "Yeah, Ken is regaining his strength." All right, reel it in, son. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened between those two. It's like, but yeah, I just think Raquel's like forced down our fucking throats. It's like, yeah, and then like she's with what do you call him? Her boyfriend to season 1. Essentially, he's like, "You know what, Raquel, I can't keep doing this because I'm just never going to be able to accept the life you're in." It's like, mate, where have you been? Where have you been? Where have you been, big man? So yeah, is this the last we see of him? I actually cannot remember his name. Of course, he helped him get out of town, like, so, you know, he's did quite a lot for him, for Kanan. But yeah, Kanan, the episode pretty much ends. Happy dog in the background, but yeah, pretty much the episode ends with Kanan going to visit hard, and it's like, is he finally going to, and Raquel notices this, and it's, I don't know, I just feel like this season is moving extremely slow. There's not really an awful lot happening as the wind is beginning to pick up here. It's sunny here in Belfast, doing the chips gimmick, but yeah, it's no bad. I mean, the show's alright. I like the show. I really did enjoy season 1. I think there's so much room for greatness in this show, like where like Tommy and like how Kanan gets to jail and Ghost and Tasha. But my problem with that is like they're bringing out that origin show, and it's like, well, how's that going to work? You know what I mean? How's that show going to work at the end of the day? I'm not too sure. Anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. I'll give this episode a 5. I just feel like this season's hovering around like a 5.5 sort of rating, because it's not that good.